Hey guys, welcome back to Dasker Discusses. Yes, here I am. And, whoops, wrong one. And here I am. And I'm here to, discuss with you guys the movies that I'm looking forward to coming out from August till December 2021. So, where do we start? Well, we start on the IMDb page. That's where we start because that's where everything pretty much is. Just give me 2 seconds just to double check all my settings, guys. Please let me know if anything's too loud. I've got dramatic music here. Let me just check if it's on. It is. It's quite dramatic, I know. So, once we're getting to this, I hope you're all keeping safe, etc. And let me just share this to the socials while we wait for everyone to jump on. Alright. So. Okay. Okay, let's go and get this started, shall we? Sorry about that. I will have the chats open there, so if you want to say something, let me know. But let's just start this off, shall we? So we've got, I don't know if you can read that, yeah? Jeez, I mean, how much zoomed in do you want? There you go, a bit more. There you go, better. So, August 20, we've got The Night House. Widow begins to uncover her recently deceased husband's disturbing secrets. Sounds real scary, that one. Ooh, look, never really heard of it, but yeah, anyway, moving on from that. Let me just double check this, it's all good. So, where were we? I'm just paranoid that it's not working properly, but it's all good. It seems that it's all good to me. Everything's in the clear. So, Reminiscence, meh. Paw Patrol, the movie. Well, yeah, don't know if I'll be watching Paw Patrol. Demonic, another scary movie coming out. A young woman unleashes terrifying demons when supernatural forces at the root of decades-old rift between mother and daughter. Please. Well, okay, this is interesting. Neil Blomkamp, who... Let's just check his stats for a sec. I'm pretty sure... Yes, I was right. Chappie, District 9, and looking at doing the future Aliens 5 movie, I've been told... Oh boy, he's got some big shoes to fill there. I mean, seriously. Apparently they're going to ignore Alien 3 and 4 and just go from that. So, Neil Blomkamp, look, that could be okay. The Protege. Michael Keaton, Maggie Q, Samuel Jackson. Alright. Rescues a child injury assassin. Yeah. Trained in the family business. Maggie Q is the most contract killer. Okay. Interesting. Let's take a look at this, shall we? Yeah, she was in Die Hard, part 4, I think. She looks like a younger Angelica Houston, I reckon. Some pretty big names in this, but again, action is probably not my favorite type of genre. Got a bit of a John Wick kind of feel to the trailer by looking at it, but whatever. Moving on from that. Please, guys, don't forget to leave a like and subscribe. Of course, because otherwise, I'm not going to get the correct... Well, I want to get up to 400 by the end of the year. Now, where were we? Flag Day, Crypto Zoo. Okay, interesting. Habit. No, not interested in that. Okay, Risen. Disaster unfolds when a meteor strikes a small town. Yeah, not really interested. Okay, here we go. Candyman. Oh yeah, August 27. Now, I was a big fan of the original Candyman, and I remember seeing it with friends back in the day, back in the 90s. I was quite young, but I remember I was quite scared of the original, and this is looking pretty good. I must say, this was one of my, this was in my top 10 to 1 most anticipated, I'm pretty sure, yeah. So, it is going to be a bit scary. I know with the sound effects, but yeah. Let's have a look. Can't say... Okay, Vanessa Williams is going to be in this. Interesting, yeah. But let's have a look at the synopsis briefly. Spiritual sequel to the horror film Candyman. Okay, that returns to the now gentrified Chicago neighborhood where the legend began. Interesting how it is the spiritual sequel. This is one that I'm looking forward to. We'll see how good that's going to be. So for August, I reckon that takes the cake as like one that I'm pretty pumped for. It's actually not that far away either. The Colony. Set in the distant future, female astronaut shipwrecked on a long decimated Earth must decide the fate wasteland. Yeah, you know what? Seen too many of these. Not really interested. Okay, let's move on to September. Shang-Chi and the Legend of the Ten Rings. I've seen some ads for this. Now, is this... Yeah, it is a Marvel film. Not really my type of... Look, I'm more of a DC fan. I haven't seen Suicide Squad yet. I know, yeah, but you heard me. I'm more of a DC fan. Yep, scratch. We need to do something. After Melissa and her family seekers still they become trapped. Yeah, not my thing. A lot of the Gateway. Skip that too. For me, good. Payton becomes a caretaker of wealthy man facing his final months. Okay, this could be interesting. Justin Etheridge, why does that ring a bell? I'm not too sure. Alright, moving on to yet another horror film. Ooh, okay, Malignant. What I really like about this is that it's actually directed by James Wan, and we know who James Wan... Well, I know who James Wan is. You guys should know who James Wan is, the guy who directed the original Saw with Lee Whannell, but also had his hand in Insidious, Fast and the Furious, all those kind of films as well. So he's gone all over the place, a bit of horror and a bit of like action. I'm not a big Fast and the Furious fan, but this looks interesting because it's just directed by him. Madison is paralyzed by shocking visions of grisly murders, and her torment worsens as she discovers that these waking demons are in fact terrifying realities. Creepy, and what I like about it was that I'm pretty sure I read somewhere that this was James Wan's version of a Giallo film. Giallo? If you know what Giallo films are, then put it in the comments, guys. But a Giallo film, how do I put this? A lot of 1970s Italian horror films were called Giallo films because they had like a kind of like a structure to them. Always about a guy obviously stalking women, right, with a knife. There was always some sort of like knife involved. I know it sounds ridiculous, but seriously, look up Giallo films. I would now, but I'm not going to sit here and do that. But yeah, another scary thing there. Oh, sorry guys. All right, moving on. Let me know what you guys think in the comments anyway. So, moving back. Let's go back. Come on. All right, the card counter. Paul Schrader. Why does that ring a bell? Long game, Paul. Yeah. Okay, what did he do? Oscar Isaac's in this as well. This guy, taxi driver, rider, Raging Bull rider. That's why it sounds familiar. There you go. Oscar Isaac's in Willem Dafoe. This looks alright. The eventually tells the story of an ex-military interrogator turned gambler. Okay, that could be one to look out for. Queen Pins, a pair of houses created $40 million coupon scam. Oh boy, Christian Bell, Vince Vaughn, mate, what have you done these days? Seriously, man. Not my type of film. Not really into these. I don't know. I'm not saying rubbish comedy, but not my thing. Definitely not my thing for me. Clifford the Big Red Dog. Well, I remember these books as a kid. This would be interesting actually to watch, but not on my list. Cry Macho, Clint Eastwood. This is looking interesting. A one-time radio star washed up horse breeder takes a job to bring a man's young son home and away from his alcoholic mum. On their journey, the horseman finds redemption through teaching the boy what it means to be a good man. This, I'm looking forward to too. You know, we know that Clint Eastwood is getting pretty old, and he is a brilliant director, brilliant actor as well, and it's just one of those things, guys. It looks like a pretty good movie, so that could be on the cards for a potential. I think that's looking good to watch. Now, moving on from there, everyone's talking about Jamie. Feature film adaptation musical from Sheffield, England, who wants to be a drag queen. If you're into musicals, that could be a thing. Blue Bayou. Okay. Again, sounds like that. What was the one that got nominated for Best Picture? Yeah. The Eyes of Tammy Faye. Nah, not really my thing. Lady of the Manor. Another comedy. The Nowhere Inn. Documentary about her mute St. Vincent's. Okay, yeah. That doesn't ring a bell. The Killing of Kenneth Chamberlain. Wow, this could be good too, actually. Yeah. Drama thriller. Alright. September 14, Venom, Let There Be Carnage. Now, I know I've said many times that I am not a Marvel fan, but I'll take it back for this. Yes, I just made that scratchy noise. I think this could be actually pretty good because I was a fan of the first one as well. Director Andy Serkis, which is interesting. He also did... Well, yeah, he's Gollum, and he's going in his directorial... Is it his debut? Let's have a look. I didn't even know that he's... Okay, he did that. And he did a few TV... Okay, Legend of the Jungle. Good on him. Good on Andy Serkis. Came from being Gollum to director of Venom. This is going to be very interesting. He was in the first one too, wasn't he? Yes, he was. How can I forget? That could be good. I'm not a Marvel fan per se, but I did enjoy Venom, and I do enjoy Spider-Man out of all the Marvel stuff. October 1. We're moving into October now. The Addams Family 2. So obviously this is a sequel of the animation. Good cast. Oscar Isaac, Charlize Theron. I might put that on my list. I still haven't seen the first one properly, but yeah. Hotel Transylvania, Transformania. What's interesting about this, Sandberg's in it, Gomez, but there's no Adam Sandler, which is a bit annoying. So, don't know about that. Now, here's another one. The Many Saints of Newark. If you don't know what this is, guys, well, I've seen the trailer and I was pretty pumped. This is a look at the formative years of New Jersey gangster Tony Soprano. If you're a Sopranos fan, this is for you. I remember watching The Sopranos back in the 90s and the early 2000s, and I tell you what, I'm really pumped for this. This is going to be, hopefully it's good, but we've got the actual kid playing Tony Soprano is Michael Gandolfini, who is actually James Gandolfini's son. So yeah, that's going to be good. Ray Liotta's in it as well. John Bernthal, the guy from Wolf of Wall Street and The Punisher, Leslie Odom Jr., Vera Farmiga, some big names in this. This is going to be very interesting to watch. I'm looking forward to it. On HBO Max, there you go. But yeah, gotta love a good gangster film, guys. Come on, and this one, especially linking The Sopranos, is going to be good. Okay, no, not really interested in that. The Jesus Music, yeah, nah. October 8, No Time to Die. Well, this has been on delay for a long time. James Bond. Now, if Sean Connery was here, what would he be saying? He'd be saying, go and watch No Time to Die, because it means the legacy of James Bond will be remembered. The problem is that I find these movies to be very repetitive. I know they're meant to be repetitive, but again, I think, in my opinion, I was a big fan of like Pierce Brosnan and maybe the first one that Daniel Craig did, but the only James Bond for me is Sean Connery and maybe GoldenEye, because there was an epic Nintendo 64 game based on it. Look, I'm not going to rush out to watch that, but I know people do. Rami Malek's in it as well, but yeah. Mass. After a violent tragedy that affects its other two couples. Yeah, haven't heard of this. So yeah. Okay, here we go. Getting into an epic thing. Let me just find the right... This, it deserves a boom. Yes, we are talking about Halloween Kills. The saga of Michael Myers and Laurie Strode continues in the next thrilling chapter. I've seen the trailer for this, and I was impressed. You knew they were gonna do a trilogy. You knew he was gonna live. He's burning. Oh, sorry. But the thing is about the trailer was that the whole neighborhood kind of gets together, and it's interesting. They've got that whole mentality that in order to defeat Michael, they have to, what was it in the trailer? Like, it's all about the whole Freddy thing, about not being afraid of him and not letting him kill people or whatever, something like that. So it's interesting how they take on that. What else I find interesting is the Easter eggs in the trailer. For example, is it this pic here? There's a couple of pictures of masks, and the masks directly relate to Halloween 3 Season of the Witch. If you guys have seen that movie, you'll know. What's that song? Sober Shamrock. Crazy movie. If you've seen Halloween Season of the Witch, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Happy Halloween, Halloween, Halloween. A very underrated horror film, that. But again, with these, they are ignoring, they're ignoring every Halloween after part 1. So yeah, it's a shame. But will the new generation know of the Halloween sequels that were total rubbish, like 5, 6, and 7? 4 was okay, but 3 was good, 2 was good too. H2O was rubbish as well. Anyway, I'm pretty pumped for Halloween Kills. This was on my most anticipated for 2021 as well. So yeah, The Last Duel, Ridley Scott. Now, I love Ridley Scott. Love him. Alien, Blade Runner, Prometheus, The Martian, but, Blade Runner, because I've been teaching it for many years as well. King Charles IV declares the night Jean de Charges. Is that how you say it? Maybe not. Settle his dispute with his squire by challenging him to a duel. Matt Damon, Adam Driver, Ben Affleck. This is looking very interesting. How did I miss this? Okay. And Ben Affleck and Matt Damon as a screenwriters. Ridley Scott as the director, jumping on this one. How did that pass through to the keeper? Alright, here we go. We're getting to the real big stuff now. This deserves an epic. Some music. Let's just check if it's working. Yes, it is. June. October 22. This was, if I'm not mistaken, my number 1 most anticipated film for 2021. I cannot wait for this. Why? Well, just cut the music. I did the reaction. I watched the second trailer. I was pretty pumped. Denis Villeneuve, great director. The cinematography looks amazing. I hope it lives up to its expectations of the book, which I didn't read. Tried to, but I was too young. The video games, huge fan. The original film with Sting, and even the concept film that they were going to make with David Lynch directing and Pink Floyd being in the soundtrack, and I think David Bowie playing in it as well. If you're not sure about that, they were going to make like another version of Dune. That would have been something, the David Lynch version. And I'll tell you what, I really hope this is good, because it got delayed and I'm pretty pumped for it. So putting that in there as my number 1 for 2021. Moving on, The French Dispatch. Okay, Wes Anderson. If you're a Wes Anderson fan, you might enjoy that. Last Night in Soho, horror. Okay, yeah, not my thing. Alright, Jackass Forever. Now, yeah, well... yeah, I love pressing these buttons, sorry. Jackass Forever. After 10 years, the Jackass crew is back for their final crusade. There is no Bam Margera, whatever you want to say in this, but the trailer does look good. I will watch this. I don't know how they classify it as a documentary, but it's... I know I said I don't like rubbish comedies, but Jackass is something that I grew up watching, MTV, and I'm going to watch this because I do listen to Steve-O's podcasts here and there, and I think Johnny Knoxville's pretty funny. Not a huge fan of Chris Pontius. I just never found his skits to be that funny, but Steve-O, I'm really a big fan of his podcast. Yeah, dude. His voice is so like, if you haven't listened to his podcast, yeah. The trailer looks really good. Lol. Thank you, Chris. Yes, it does. You never notice how Steve-O's voice is just there was a video on his YouTube channel about how he has like literally a hole in his voice. So that's why he kind of sounds like this. Like he sounds like all the time when he's kind of speaking. Yeah, dude. Anyway, moving on. Chris, I just mentioned that my number one was Dune for the year, but there you did miss how I did mention Halloween Kills was another one. I've been through a lot. I've spoken here for 20 minutes, so yeah. Jackass forever. Antlers. A middle school teacher and sheriff brother becoming broader than yeah, Doug's okay. Scott Cooper. Not sure of that director, but Kerry Russell's a pretty good actress. Or if I'm not mistaken, am I thinking of? Yes, I know who that is. All right, moving on from that. Next, Eternals. Again, another Marvel film that I am not really that familiar with and what's it about. So we're getting into November. Not really that. Whatever. The beta test. I've heard something about this, but I'm not really interested. Okay, here we go. Another epic. Here we go. Can you hear that? Alright. I am pretty pumped for Ghostbusters Afterlife, and again, another spooky kind of movie. Chris, what did you say? I saw your Halloween part. I'm surprised you're looking forward to it. Whoa. Hey, come on. You know me, and you know how pumped I was for Halloween, and hopefully it's not disappointing, but I was pretty impressed with the Halloween reboot, remake, sequel, whatever. Halloween Kills, I think will be good. It'll end, again, another cliffhanger, because the third Halloween movie coming out is going to be called Halloween Ends, and then they'll end the whole thing. But again, like I said in my thing, I'm a huge fan of the genre. You know, I love horror films. I'm pretty pumped for it. I just hope one day they can redo Nightmare on Elm Street and do it justice like they did with Halloween. I've heard that they're going to do Alien 5, meaning like a direct sequel to Aliens. So I think what's happening is Hollywood is seeing that, hey, why don't we just do sequels and then skip some of the rubbish sequels that we're after, which is a shame, but I'd be happy to see them bring back Freddy. I know you can't bring back Robert Englund, but whatever, we're getting off topic. I'm a big fan of horror. I was going to talk about how, the Exorcist trilogy they're going to bring out, but I'm going to make a whole video about that because I've read the book, The Exorcist, and I'm a huge fan of the original. Let's talk about Ghostbusters Afterlife. Now, would you believe that I was going to do a trailer reaction to this, but I saw the first trailer, and I'm like, you know what? I'm actually going to moving it away, because I actually haven't watched the second trailer. Because, again, just looking at that Stay Puft Marshmallow, it gives away too much. I actually don't want to watch the trailer. It's been spoiled online by people, and I know there's a lot of like Easter eggs in it, and I know I'd be a big fan if I wanted to watch it and see all the cool things. But looking at the cast, seeing Dana Barrett, Sigourney Weaver playing that, I'm like, that's already a spoiler for me. Dan Aykroyd, it's already a spoiler for me. Ernie Hudson, already a spoiler. Annie Potts and Bill Murray's not listed, but apparently he picks up the phone at the end of the trailer. Should I just watch the trailer? I don't know. Am I going to spoil it? The reason I'm so pumped for this is because of the fact that Jason Reitman, who is the son of the original director, is the director for this, and we've got a really good cast, and I think they will do it justice. Met G, hey MD. Hello, Met. Met, what did you think of Ghostbusters back in the day? I think that this could be good. I don't want to even talk about the Ghostbusters sequel they brought up, but I remember seeing this very image right here ages ago, probably 3-4 years ago. And I'm a big fan of Ghostbusters. It was something that I grew up watching as a kid, and it was like one of the movies that you could just put on, and I was very young, and I wasn't really scared by anything. Part 2 was a bit meh, but yeah. LBJ King, oh boy. Met, please go watch The Last Dance, because we all know what basketball was like back in the day. No, LBJ, I know, look, I still need to watch Space Jam, because I haven't seen it yet. I remember The Slime. Yes, The Slimer. Great movie. Great villain, I guess you could say. So, that is another big one. I've said them all, guys. I've said June, I've said Halloween Kills, I've said Ghostbusters Afterlife. What was the other one? The Last Duel, Ridley Scott was another big one as well. Belfast. Alright, another huge one. This deserves more music. Top Gun Maverick. I mean, come on. Could you get... I don't know if it's the biggest film for me, but Chris, Space Jam 2 was good. I will watch Space Jam 2 and I'll put a non-biased, very neutral review on it. I've heard mixed things, but I don't know. I didn't even really watch any of my my reviewers that I watch. I didn't really watch any of their reviews on it because I didn't want to spoil anything. I do know that there is a couple of references to Warner Brothers films, which I want to see for myself. But moving on. I will watch Space Jam 2 and I'll let you know what I think. But Top Gun Maverick, I mean, come on. Again, another film that was delayed. The trailer looks amazing. I like how they're actually in fighter jets, like the original one. There's not much CG I've heard. Tom Cruise, Jennifer Connelly, Miles Teller. Here's what's interesting. Rooster Brayshaw, is he going to... Well, I'm trying to guess this kind of like storyline that's going to happen. Maverick either called out of retirement or he's the teacher. This guy's going to be like the new Maverick and he's going to be like, you can't do this, you can't do that kind of mentality. Then you've got Ed Harris as the boss in charge, I guess, of everything. Val Kilmer is Iceman. I really hope he has a prominent role, but I don't know. I think he's got throat cancer. I don't know how they're going to put him in, but in the trailer there is some sort of funeral that happens. I don't know. John Hamm, wonder what his role is going to be. But this is one that I'm looking forward to as well. A lot of these movies that I'm looking forward to are coming out more October, November. But August, I did have Candyman, which is coming out. So there is still stuff coming out. Like soon, I'm saying. So, King Richard. I saw the trailer for this actually on a YouTube recommendation. It's about, Venus and Serena it's about the father of Venus and Serena Williams with Will Smith. And I'll tell you what, I'm a bit of a sports fan myself. This looks pretty good to watch. If you're into your sports films, this could be good, I reckon. And don't be surprised if Will Smith gets a nomination for supporting actor or actor in this, I reckon, because this could be really good. And I love a good biopic on sporting heroes, and Venus and Serena are huge tennis heroes. Now, this is where I was... Encanto. Okay. Alright, cool. That could be good. Disney movie, if you're interested in that. The other one I was looking at, this is where I was getting confused, because I thought there was only one Ridley Scott film coming out, but there's obviously two. House of Gucci, or House of Gucci. No, it's not House of Gucci, but yeah. Spanning 3 decades of love, betrayal, decadence, revenge, and ultimately murder, we see what the name means, what it's worth, and how far family will go for control. This could be good too. One, because I'm a fan of Ridley Scott, but look at that cast. Let's have a look. Now, I don't know much about Gucci. I know the brand, but check this out. Look at, that's Jared Leto there. That is crazy. Jeremy Irons, Al Pacino. I don't know. Al Pacino is in it. Al Pacino in it. Lady Gaga. There's some big names in this. Adam Driver. Good old Kylo Ren. Al Pacino. Al Pacino's voice these days is so scratchy. It's kind of like, how you doing? I'm going to be starring in House of Gucci, but my voice is a bit too scratchy to do anything loud like I used to. Anyway, that's shocking. But this could be good, I think. And I'll tell you what, Ridley Scott, these days, I know he's getting pretty old in his days as well. And big fan of that. I'm going to be looking at this very carefully, as with The Last Duel from him. Now, I know people keep saying, Daska, you and your horror movies, but I am a huge fan of the Resident Evil series. Now, you're probably thinking, Daska, sounds like you're a huge fan of everything. Well, kind of am in a way, not just as a YouTuber, whatever. I've only got 300 and whatever subs, but having to teach film, television, media, whatever, but just playing video games my whole life. Resident Evil 2. Now, if Chris is still watching, you remember playing Resident Evil 2 back in the day. Resident Evil Welcome to Raccoon City, set in 1998. The perfect era. Just when I was in high school playing this very game, Resident Evil 1 and 2. This, I hope, is really good. I hope they really reference back to the police station, the sewers, all that from Raccoon City. I'm pretty pumped for this. I just finished. I finished Resident Evil Village about a month or two ago. Was good, but nothing beats Biohazard, I think. Really pumped for Resident Evil. Can't wait. Moving on to the next month, which is December. Nightmare Alley. Guillermo del Toro, an ambitious carny with a talent of manipulating people with his few wild choices that hooks up with a female psychiatrist even more dangerous than he is. I'll tell you what, no poster for it. Action, crime, drama, thriller. Good director. Blanchett, Cooper, Rooney Mara, Holt McCallany. Okay. This is looking good too, guys. I think that could be on the cards to something to keep an eye out for, because I don't mind Bradley Cooper and I love the director, so yeah. I didn't mind The Hobbit, the first one, but wait a minute, no. Del Toro was meant to direct The Hobbit. I'm getting mixed up here. But he did do Pan's Labyrinth and Shape of Water. So, some very strange films that he's made, but you've got to be really into them, I guess. He made The Witcher's screenplay. Oh boy, okay. I hated that. Wolf, a high-concept art house drama about a boy who believes is a wolf. Are we talking like Teen Wolf here? Because that was a good movie. I keep missing my cues. Anyway, West Side Story. Look, I'm not a huge musical fan, but when you see Steven Spielberg's name attached to something like this, an adaptation of a classic musical, I'm going to have to say I will be watching West Side Story, because I do love some of the songs in it, like, what's that one? I'm so happy, no, how does it go again? I'm so charming and happy and, I can't remember. See the pretty girl in that mirror there? Yes, West Side Story. And that Maria song, whatever it's called, that could be good, and that will make a lot of money, because people love musicals and they love the original one, so prepare yourselves, guys. That's going to be huge. American Underdog. The story of our NFL MVP and Hall of Fame quarterback Kurt Warner went from stocking shelves. Okay, again, another big... If you're a big sports fan, that could be something for you. Spider-Man No Way Home. Again, the Tom Holland Spider-Man. Alright, there's another one. This, December 17 could be good. I'm a Spider-Man fan, but I haven't really gotten around to watching them. Benedict Cumberbatch. I'm guessing he's going to play Doctor Strange in that, so that should be interesting. Yeah, look, I'll see. I've got to catch up on my Marvel stuff, because, again, like I said, I am more of a DC fan. Yup. Alright, here we go. Possibly the biggest for me. One of the biggest. I know I've said this, but it needs the epic music. Let me just check. The Matrix 4. Lana Wachowski, Keanu Reeves, Carrie-Anne Moss, Christina Ricci. This is going to be coming out soon, guys. December. We don't know too much. There hasn't been much talk. No trailers either, but we've got Neo and Trinity back in it. And what are they going to do? Where is... Well, Jada Pinkett Smith is in it. Lawrence Fishburne, I don't think he's going to be in it. Didn't he die in the... I can't remember. Hugo Weaving, we don't know yet. I wonder what they're going to do with this. Seriously. Oh, John Wick Chapter 4. When's that coming out? Let's just double check that, actually, because I'm pretty pumped for that too. 2022. Okay, Chris. I haven't seen any of the Matrix films. Well, as Borat would say, are you actually joking, Chris? You haven't seen the Matrix films? Wow. I remember watching the original back when I was probably... Wait a minute, when did the original come out? Was it 1999? Oh, come on, when was it? Let me just check. I have to check. Matrix Reloaded. The Matrix, I think I was in year 11. Yes. I remember going to the movies with my mum and cousin to watch this, and my mum was a big sci-fi fan. She loved it. I thought, what is this movie about? I don't get it. I mean, I kind of got it, but The Matrix is something that needs to be experienced. The problem is you'll probably watch it now, Chris, and think that it's a bit outdated in terms of like the computer-generated imagery, like the CGI. They are great films. Are they all good? Well, here's the thing. That is a big debate. And as you can see by looking at these ratings, I rate number one, number 2, Matrix Reloaded as number 2, and number 3 I think is the most disappointing one. If I had to choose to pick one right now to watch, I think I'd pick Matrix Reloaded. I love The Matrix Part 1, but I just think Reloaded has some of the most epic action sequences. And I know The Matrix 1 is the original, and there is some great scenes in that as well, but I just think Reloaded, even though it is a bit cheesy and a bit ridiculous with some of the scenes, it is entertaining, and that's the thing. And I just love not spoiling anything, the ending of Matrix Reloaded. Can't give away anything, but that whole concept and just having to think back to exactly what happened during the film and like what it actually means to be in the Matrix and what it is, that was worth it. I remember seeing Matrix Reloaded and I'm like, huh? What? What just happened? So, recommendation, Chris, is to, yes, watch them. But you can't be sitting there on your phone watching them. You have to actually be actively listening to everything that's going on. And also remember that the CG and the visual effects aren't as good as, say, today. So you're probably thinking, I could tell that's green screen or whatever. Forget about all that. At the time, they were epic. They still are. The third one is disappointing, but the first 2 were great. I'm pretty pumped for the 4th one. Really want to see what they're going to do, because we've got the original director coming in and the writers as well. So, come on, man. You haven't seen The Matrix. I am disappointed in that. Watch out, Dak. All right. The Kingsman, Matthew Vaughn, Ralph Fiennes. Okay. Yeah, don't know. Okay. Sing 2, another kids movie if you're interested in that. A Journal for Jordan. I think, guys, we are done unless I've missed something. I'm sure there probably is something on other websites that I've missed, but for now, I mean, I'm not going to go through it. That's 37 minutes of going through what exactly is coming out. So, what can I say? I just want to say don't forget to subscribe, because without the subscriptions, guys, you know what I'm going to do. The Kingsman will be okay. Can we go back to it again for a sec? Hang on. Go back. Let's have a look. The Kingsman agency is formed to stand against a cabal plotting a war to wipe out millions. Alright. Chris, we'll check this out. Matthew Vaughn, Ralph Fiennes, big fan of him. This could be good. Alright. So, the Duke of Oxford. My lists, guys, I've gone through them many times, but from what I can remember from the past 38 minutes that we've been talking, pretty pumped for, obviously, The Matrix, Dune, Candyman, Halloween Kills, The Last Duel, Ridley Scott, House of Gucci as well. There's a few in there. I probably missed a couple, but I mean, you know, can't sit there and repeat myself over and over. Just want to say a couple of things. So, just want to say thanks to everyone watching. This is my acceptance speech. Top Gun was another one. Thank you for everything, guys. Thank you for watching. Please don't forget to hit that subscribe button, and subscribe, like, etc. And that's all I can say, guys. Hit subscribe, like, enjoy. Let me know what you thought in the comments when I post this up, and I'll see you guys on the next episode of Daska Discusses. And 3, 2, 1, boom. Let me just double check that chat. Top Gun. Alright, catch you guys later.